Hey everybody, Conscious Medium Brandon Russ here, and I'm here to talk all about intuitive development. Now, intuitive development is a design class for anyone on their journey that wants to increase their intuition. Now, intuition is the building block for anything that you do spiritually. It's always been there. But unfortunately, it's not something that's taught in schools. It's not something that we easily conceptualize. And it's something that just kind of sits there and we get hits of it, but it's how you develop it, how you control it. Someday this will be taught in schools, whatever school looks like by then. But today, as adults, like most of us on this channel, you have to begin to understand where your biases are, you have to understand what your fears are, you have to understand what you're really good at, and that's what we focus in on with intuitive development. Intuitive development is actually broken up as a 20-week class, but 2 sessions of 10. Makes it bite-sized, lets you allow to kind of do this. And by the way, with access to this, whether you're at the basic level or the advanced level, you'll have access to all of the meditations that go along with the classes. You'll have access to the dynamics in which we are going to develop, if you will. Now, the advanced members will also, chances are, going to be doing some other things like building their business and being able to create a design, the business side of spiritual work, but then also be able to really kind of fine tune your skills. So this has a little bit of everything, as I have no problem leaving all of my bells and whistles on while I record a video. I'm not going to restart it, guys. Just not. I'm going to keep going because it was a pretty good intro. So let me go through each week, and I just want to give a little bit of caption about what goes on with each one of these, because I do realize that this is an investment in yourself. It is suggested that you spend between 5 and 8% of your annual salary on self-improvement. This kind of fits into that category right there. Self-improvement, spiritual networking, being able to kind of grow yourself in another way. So even if you stick tight with that 5%, this should fit into there. So the intuitive development class, this is a survey class that really helps you on your path. First week, right out of the gate, we talk about how intuition works and we talk about protections. This is a really important thing, and this is not necessarily in the ritual sense of it, but it is in the idea of understanding what this stuff is. This is a white light progressive teaching style. So as much as the dark is there, we elevate to the light. That's one form of protection. I'm going to talk about all the different forms of it, from the basics of smudging to being able to really kind of understand what you're actually getting as you get it. Then we're going to talk about meditation 101, how to do it. So first we build up things like, hey, how do you clear your space, to how do you meditate, how you do also journaling and automatic writing. These are really cool exercises, by the way. You get exercises every single week in between these classes. It helps you develop, and then we talk about the feedback there. So meditation, and then also doing automatic writing. And then we really kind of dive in, the guides and angels. Who's here to help you? Who are your spirit guides? Let's help identify them. Let's help connect with the angels. There are some incredibly cool meditations that come along with this as well. And then dreams, taking a look at dreams being one of those things that, like, when we're relaxed, that sometimes is the ease of spirit into it. We kind of take you off your game a little bit and bring you through a dream sequence with that. We also understand how earth energy works and how spirit energy works with that class. Then we jump into chakras and auras. This is about the body energy. The exercise with that is actually how to read auras. And yes, I know we're online, a little bit tough, is the screen, whatever. These are exercises you're going to take home. You're going to sit with somebody, squat your kid down and say, just sit there, I got to read your aura. And they're like, I didn't steal the cookies. Yeah, you're going to be able to shake anybody down. Anyways, my sense of humor comes at no extra cost. But chakras and auras, really kind of how it works and how to begin to kind of read this. And just a note, I know that a lot of people that would be even interested in a channel like this has been through at least, at a minimum, basics of classes. Let me tell you why you're going to find benefit in this, even if you're a Reiki master teacher. You're going to hear another version of this, and you're going to be in a community where comments and ongoing dialogue is going to really kind of grow your knowledge base. If you're as serious about knowledge as what you are willing to invest in, then let me tell you something. This is going to find benefit for you. So even though you see some of these topics, you're like, oh gosh, I've been in 16 dream classes. I worked with Clara Barton. No, recognize that there's another pitch to this. By the way, things like dreams, I actually focus a lot in on the science as much as the spiritual as well. Same thing with the chakras and auras and crystals. And oh, by the way, did I mention that I have guest speakers at almost all of these classes? I shouldn't say all of them, but many of them. So the next class up is actually numerology and sign from loved ones. This is a deeper dive, though. If you sat in on the Signs from Loved One class, the free one, that's really just kind of the surface. We go into the alternate real meaning as to why they choose numbers, why they choose cardinals, why they choose dreams, so forth and so on. This class gets deep really quick into your personal journey. And before you think, oh, numerology, nope, I'm going to tell you, it's as prevalent as ever, especially if you want to be a practitioner in this work or you really want to find that connection with a loved one. This is priming you for it. The next week is pendulums, cards, and other modalities. We're going to break out the tarot. We're going to break out the pendulums. We're going to talk about pendulum techniques. We're going to do dowsing a little bit later on in this class, but the pendulums are a nice introduction to it. The tarot, the difference between tarot and oracle, we really kind of go into this. So some of it's a little basic, but if you're like being reminded to get back into it or saying, hey, I needed to hear that, there we go. Then we have the Indigo Children class. That's a really important thing. Many of us are Indigo parents. The Indigo Children is really, not only are we going to talk about the generational side of it, the star seeds, so forth and so on, but also about the collective energy that's going on and how to actually become a better parent or when you do encounter this, whether it's through your work, through your life, those are all really important things, right? And we focus in on the soul purpose with Indigo Children. And then we get into some good old-fashioned mediumship. This is psychometry. Next up would be a psychometry class. It's also known as the envelope class. It's a lot of fun. And by the way, number one response that I get with that is, I can't do that. There's no way I can do it. I will tell you that for every single person that says to me, oh yeah, I can't do that, I'm here to tell you, if there's 10 people that do it, 9 of them walk out of that class going, holy crap, I got something here. I'm going to teach you Merkaba-based mediumship that allows you to get evidential. It is the first step in evidential mediumship and how I teach it. By the way, if you like that class, you really should consider some mediumship work. But anyways, I digress. We'll get into that just a little bit more down the road. Then we take a little bit of a break. That wraps up just before Thanksgiving this time around. And then we get started again in January 10th. By the way, don't worry, you're not out in the open. I'm going to have some impromptu stuff in between. I just know that that's a busy time. Sometimes it's harder to make a commitment during that time. I've always found, again, in my experience, wrapping that up before Thanksgiving allows everybody a chance to kind of just take a little bit of a breather, and you've got to absorb it. You just had 10 weeks of boom, 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 boom. Now, you can sign up for both sessions at the same time. There's a discount attached on top of the discount coming, for being the membership level that you are. But if you want to just do the first class and then jump into the second class, or you want to skip the first class and come into the second class, I understand it, but I'll tell you, it's a package deal. The more that you do with this, the better. And I'm not trying to sell you a set of Ginsu knives, although look at how much it slices and dices, and now it can even cut a tomato. Anyways. So going into January 10th, when we start up the next session, it's going to be the Akashic Records and consciousness. This is kind of an interesting thing of understanding where we're coming from. This goes hand in hand with another class with past lives, but you're going to see why I work this in the way that I do, because the next week we're actually going to do dowsing and remote viewing. So we're going to kind of tap into the energy of the all-knowing and then be able to kind of apply it. Dowsing is an energy conversation. Remote viewing is about, remote viewing. I'm not going to mince words with that. Then the following week, we take a turn towards shamanism. We take a look at spirit animals, their purposes, their meanings, and how we translate that, both as energy workers and what it means for us. There are a couple of really cool meditations with that. Boy, oh boy, comes back and forth. Then we have conscious living and some ideas that come together with who you are. It's kind of the work that you're supposed to do for yourself so you can be the best for others. Then we get into past lives. This is another really great meditation that you're going to love. And then you have the healing and sound energy night. This is very cool. We actually have some sonic, over the next couple of weeks, we're going to be doing some sonic recording here in the space. And my goal with that is to really get, I'm about to sound like I'm out of like 1970 or 1980. I really want a quadraphonic sound where there is a surround of all of the different instrumentations that go on. The crystal bowls, the gongs, the chimes, the forks, the whole nine. So there's that. Then we get into reading people's energy, really kind of delivering for people like messages, how to develop the message. So you see there's little hints of mediumship all along in this. And I'm here to share with you that this is where you really kind of take off with it. Then we have a class called Ancient Civilizations and Cultures. As someone that has a teacher that is world-renowned for working with Maltese ruins, I'm here to tell you it's one of my favorite classes. When you start to connect the dots, it's really important. And then we go into CE5 and connection with alien beings, blah, 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 all that other stuff. We're going to peel away the stuff like, to me, a bit of the bogusness of the reptilian stuff. I think it's present. I just don't think it's as evil as what people think. I also think that it's something that we have to start figuring this out. It's interesting. You're probably signing up just after the Lion's Gate, or you remember the Lion's Gate at 8/8. That is one of the telltale signs that we are connected with another civilization somewhere else. We do a deep dive on that. Very cool meditation. We're going to do a group activity around the world on that one. That'll be cool. And then we do a missing persons case. When available, I do have plenty of contacts within state and local law enforcement. So there's a pretty good chance you won't know a single thing about the case unless you're in the Capital District. But even then, I like to find cases that aren't necessarily popular or truly cold. So this will be kind of a way to really kind of work your chops. By the way, just to kind of go back in time, like why would you have a missing persons case be the last class, right? Well, because at the beginning of all this, we talk about your protection, and then we go into the meditation, then we go into the guides and angels. We talk about the crystals, the dreams, the chakras, your aura. What are the signs and symbols? Using your pendulum, using tools of divination. I'm talking about how energy works, and then start to build those exercises up. And guess what? By the time you get to the end of this, you're actually applying all the tools that have been taught throughout the series, right? So that to me is kind of why that's a challenge. This is one of a handful of classes that'll be, if this doesn't resonate with you and you just want to get good at one particular thing, hang on, there's other things, but I'm going to really encourage you to do this, because one of the ways that I build up discounts is that if you took this, then you should also take this, or you want to have this for your journey. So the dynamic here is really build your psychic dictionary. This is a class on psychic dictionary building. So especially if you're a medium, especially if you're doing tarot work, if you're a Reiki master teacher, if you do counseling, therapies, you're building dictionary because you're gaining information while you're counseling your person. By the way, if you want to just become the best mother, teacher, nurse, counselor, clerk, best friend, parent, this class is right up your alley too. I've had over 2,000 students take this class. It was primarily local, and I would have between 20 and 50 people at any given one. I have taught this series of classes, I think I figured it out like 27 times. It is really refined. It is designed in a way to help challenge you, keep you engaged, and then also take you to another level. So all of those things are part of my path, and now I'm happy to be part of yours. I take being a teacher and mentor very seriously. And moreover, I am really looking forward to see where you go with us. I will be your greatest champion. I really will be. So long as you're not willing to take away free will and start to dictate things through taking away that free will, then this is a place for you. This is a home for you. So I want to thank you guys for being a part of things here. Become a member, and then you can take advantage of the discounts. You're going to see where these discounts lie. When you sign up for the membership, you get a welcome email from me that has the discount codes in them. Please don't share them. I will figure that out. That's not polite. All right, guys, thank you so much. I really enjoy having you as part of my path. And I want to give you guys a heart tap and remind you to simply keep going. I'll see you guys soon. Thanks.